So the other one that's happening these days that I'm really excited about, and really, you have to get to a place, I think, where as an indie artist, you really have that engine that I was talking about, that core group of fans that are super in. You need to have people that you need to know that you have an engine going already, because once you have that engine, you can do really, really fun things. You have this community, you have this engine that's humming, you have people that want to get more involved, hear more, experience more, get to know you more. And so one of the ways that we're utilizing that as a band and as a business is we've decided to start creating some trips. We have two different trips right now that we do every year. In the fall, we call it the Autumn Getaway Sessions. And we did our first one last fall in Ogunquit, Maine. And
Nice.
and it was yeah, I knew you'd like that. Um, and it was small. We just had 80 or 90 fans. We all stayed in a hotel for 3 days. We had different shows each day and some different activities during the day. One day we walked along the ocean side and ate clam chowder and drank rum punch. And another day we did a movie viewing, and we just fun stuff every night. After the evening concert, we would come back to the hotel and people would be jamming and hanging out, sharing their own music. It was pretty special. And it helps that we're a band that can play 3 nights, 3 days, and not repeat a song, right? And we up the ante actually even more on our second trip. We called that the Winter Gathering. So this was an opportunity. We've had all these people in the Gathering series that have been tuned in online to our live stream, and we said we're going to do a 3-day trip. And this is going to be a very unstructured trip because the main goal of this trip is for all you gatherers who've been chatting with each other and hanging with each other for all this time, you get to connect with each other now. And so this trip, we rented out an entire resort in Fairleigh, Vermont, Lake Moore Resort. Awesome place. Could hold like 200 plus people. So we had 200 gatherers come. And every morning we would all wake up, we'd eat breakfast, we'd do an acoustic show. The rest of the day was free time. We'd get together for dinner and then a band concert at night. And we did that 3 days, 3 days in a row. So 6 concerts. And again, no repeats in that on those 3 days. And so we dove super deep into the music and into each other. And that was a great experience. And not only was it a great, I mean, it's complicated again for those of you musicians out there that are thinking about organizing trips. It's hard. It's hard, and I've known a lot of musicians to do this in indie ways. Oftentimes, those musicians will hire other musicians to join them on the trips, and so it's like a multiple day festival, and everybody hangs out. And an artist that does a wonderful job of this is my friend Pat McGee. I don't know if you know him, but beautiful indie artist, and he does awesome trips. Another great singer-songwriter, Ellis Paul, does a bunch of trips with songwriting and travel and all sorts of stuff. And they're just a great way to utilize the core of your engine. People they can't get enough. They would love to dig into 6 shows of yours and talk about music and hang with you in between.
That's
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I've seen bands doing that, but I think you're the first person I've talked to who's actually has done that. And I've seen lots of cruises happen too, where, like you said, it's more of like a festival. A band kind of gets a captive audience, and then they have a bunch of other artists. But yeah, that's awesome, and also somewhat terrifying that you're the only you're the only entertainment
You
there the
have to
whole
get
week.
to a place, right? And let me also, right, the terrifying thing that that's real, and that's okay. Thinking about being online and live streaming for an hour every night for 500 nights in a row, that's a terrifying statistic. And it even having been through it, to try and be entertaining, it can't be about trying to be entertaining anymore. And my art form is different than other musicians. Some musicians, take an Alison Krauss, right? I've seen Alison play. She is breathtakingly perfect in everything she does on that stage. And it is like, whoa, when I go to see Alison Krauss, when I listen to Alison Krauss, I am like hearing perfection embodied in a human artist, right? That is not me. I am a different kind of artist in that I just want my humanity to be puking out of me. And I want us all to experience being human. So over the course of any given night, I will do things to myself to take myself out of my comfort zone. Try a song for the first time, try a song that's not finished, talk about an incredibly embarrassing thing that happened to me at some point, just be honest about something I'm struggling with. And all of these things end up becoming a part of the performances, and they take the power away. They take the fear away from having to be this perfect, engaged artist. It's the only way I could do a 3-day trip as the only artist. It means that right. I'm doing the musical equivalent of walking around in my pajamas, right? And that's just the art form that I like the most. I like being as real and raw as I can be. And so it's very conducive to the way I've tailored my business to dive deep with fans.